There's nothing like it.
We're like eagles on the open highway.
It is all about the passion, my friend. If you don't have the passion, I wouldn't even touch a venture like this. And I think that's what drives America today, you know, as far as small business. If you don't have that passion, small business is a hard life.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Here we are in Kingman, Arizona. We made it. Such a long ride.
Yeah.
60 miles or so. But no, what a great day it's been. And we are here at the Desert Diamond Distillery with John and Deborah. We're going to take a tour. We just did a tasting. Amazing rum, I got to tell you.
Great stuff, great stuff. I'm feeling good.
So where are we?
We are in Kingman, Arizona.
I know that. Where are we?
Where are we?
Yeah.
We're flying. Oh, we're at the airport.
The airport. See? Yeah, there's a lot of history. This actual facility is built on some of the grounds of the airport, so we'll hear some of that history as well. I'm going to be over later at the Airport Cafe and talk a little bit there. But I'm really looking forward to getting on a tour and seeing how this beautiful rum and vodka has been made.
Yeah, and you can't miss it. If you take Andy Devine off the 40 and you find Route 66,
you're on your way.
Right, boom. Done.
So let's go on that tour. Hey, so we're here with John. We're going to start this tour. John, thanks for having us.
Thank you for
We're
thinking of
excited.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, this is a business of passion. I've been doing it over 12 years. It's one of those things that it took a lot of years to establish where we're at right now. It was a long, hard road, as they say. We're one of those facilities that manufacture everything. I don't buy any bulk spirit. So other than I'm not farm to table, I do everything else. I ferment, distill, and age everything.
So that 10-year gold run that we had in the tasting, so that happened 10 years ago? 12?
Yes,
Was that your first?
10 years ago. It was actually not my first. I've been doing it over 12 years.
Okay.
It took me a while to establish my style.
Right.
And I tried all kinds of different barrels and different techniques and recipes. And of course, once I found my groove, we had to use a lot of what I started with. We're actually at 11 years now as far as the oldest spirit in the barrel room.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And that was a gold medal winner, right?
Yes, it was actually 9th in the world in, as far as London's concerned.
That's amazing.
I don't talk too much about awards. The ladies love the awards. The business loves the awards. You know, to me, it was kind of a special thing this year because a lot of people have placed a lot of faith in me for 12 years, and to have that come full circle,
right,
and have an awesome result like that was kind of cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, an award to me is people coming here and enjoying the spirit. That's what I do.
Which we did.
Yes, we did. We did.
So where are we at here?
This is my playroom. I have 2 playrooms. This is the production room. As my wife says, my Tonka toys just keep getting bigger. On this side here, we do all the fermentation. And then, of course, we play with Willy Wonka here. That's our still. This comes from southern Germany. And then this side here is all of our high-proof alcohol. It is where I do the storage, and then the taller tanks are where I do all my cutting to establish the proof that we tell you is on the bottle.
Gotcha.
And filter and bottle. You know, none of this technology is new. It's been used in the industry for years, but 12 years ago, applying it to an artisan distiller was actually one of the very first in the country. And it pretty much allows me to operate this by myself. Other than having spotters up on the catwalk, it does a wonderful job. So everything is automated to the still and away from the still.
Gotcha.
The still is still an all manual operation. I mean, it's very modern, has a lot of safety features, but the operation is still all me. And distilling I describe it like an artist, you know, with a canvas. You got a paintbrush, paint, and a canvas. Do you make stick figures or do you make Picasso, Rembrandt, you know?
So how do these things work?
Well, I mean, basic distilling is very simple. You have a pot, you boil, you vaporize, you condense. I mean, you can do that on your stove. I mean, you can go to a lot of the large distilleries and it's that simple. The kettles are just huge. But what'll happen is the distiller will come off of a still like that, go through a wall right into a smaller kettle, and they're gonna redistill. Double distill, triple distill, there's a lot of merit to that. What you're looking at here is what we refer to as a column reflux still. It's a more modern technology that distillers, basically I can run a single pass and create just about any spirit you desire, except for vodka.
So this is the kettle, right?
Yes, this is the pot, as we would refer to it.
Okay.
My wife always call it like a crock pot.
Yeah.
Because basically the principle's the same. I have it jacketed and steam will come through and warm up the kettle. The mash comes in here and we boil.
Okay.
We're gonna vaporize just like any kettle. But instead of going straight to the condenser, we're gonna interrupt with the short column basically.
Okay.
We only use both columns to create the vodka. Vodka, you must get to 190 proof, maintain it by definition, by law. So making rum or whiskey or tequilas or brandies or whatever, we pretty much run off this short
You can
column.
just go to the short.
And I can open and close plates in here. And this allows me to pretty much create any proof I desire. And that's a distilling as far as the art, you know, how fast you're distilling, how slow, cooling speeds, all kinds of things will create. Different levels of proof, and we're talking average proofs here, are gonna create totally different characteristics in the spirits. I could literally put 4 distillers in here, give them all the same mash, same equipment, and we could all create a different character in our spirit.
Gotcha.
We move it into the high proof tanks here and I let it rest for like 30 days. And then of course I decide what I want to do with it. I do an expedited aging, which is a wood chip, takes like 3 months. And that is actually the base for the agave rum, which is my recipe. I didn't want to do a spiced rum. I wanted to do something that really said Southwest.
It sure does.
Apparently we've done a pretty good job because we sell a lot of agave rum. That being said, I take the rest of it and I put it in the barrel room.
Gotcha.
So we'll go take a trip to the barrel room, show you my second playroom.
All right.
To the barrel room.
As I mentioned earlier, the barrel aging is what I really got in this business for. You know, I always say I don't age very well, but the barrels sure do. If we got one lucky break in 12 years, this actually worked out exactly the way we had hoped. Just like a new winery in a new area, it doesn't come with a manual. You're paving the road as you go. I don't care if you're the best winemaker in the world, you have a learning curve when you open in a new area. For us, it was all about the aging, how that was going to work. The one flaw we had was the humidity. I have to create the humidity, and that's why we have the barrel room. Otherwise, the angels get drunk and I go broke.
You were saying that earlier, so part of the reason you're here is the microclimate.
Yes, it's actually a hot summer,
Yep.
a cool winter. And if you do the Bourbon Trail, they're going to talk a lot about this. The transition, there's a great deal of expansion and contraction in a high proof alcohol. And in the barrels, when it expands, of course, it's going to push into the wood. And when it contracts in the cold, it's going to pull back out again. And the more you do this over time, the more you're picking up character or, you know, compounds out of the wood that are going to give you all kinds of different flavors and aromas.
And it looks like to me, these are pretty new barrels.
I'm one of the only distillers in the country who age rum in new barrels.
Is that right?
That's really what sets us apart. It gives me, I basically am doing a whiskey aging on the rum, and it gives me that character on the rums.
So being a new barrel, it really can seep in and pull the...
Yes, yeah. It just creates a different flavor.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it's better, but it has more, I'm the miner, not the pirate.
Right.
I love the pirate, but I create rum in Arizona. So, and we've reached the point, 12 years into this, 11-year-old spirit, that we're really reaping the benefits of what we've sowed over time. And that there's no way to get there but put in your time.
So these are numbered,
Yes.
and you have a date. This is October 2018.
Yes. There's everything in here now from 11 year to fairly new.
And which kind of the yield that you get every year?
Well, there's always an angel share. There's an evaporation.
Right.
I put in far more barrels. You have to put everything in perspective. You know, Jim Beam puts up a barrel every minute.
Right.
My entire life at Jim Beam's about 200 minutes. So, you know, apples and oranges.
Yeah.
But for us, I put up maybe 20 barrels a year.
Okay.
I pull maybe 5. And these are basically what we refer to as a hybrid barrel. The heads are French oak. The staves are white American
I
oak.
was going to ask you what the, okay.
As a general rule, I don't reuse them, but here again, it doesn't come with a manual, so we have refilled some to gain data. There's only one way to do it.
Right.
As a general rule, I sell them to craft breweries,
Okay.
and they age beer or honey wine.
Well, like, I'm sure they get some really great flavors out of the beer or the wine.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So she's car number 30. She was ATSF till 1987. She was came about in 1918. She is one of the original steel cars, which makes her incredibly heavy. She's almost 100 tons.
Wow.
She did about 30 years as a director's car for ATSF. Then she ran executives around for quite a while. And then one of the big things that was added to her pedigree was in, I think it's around 1960, for maybe 8 or 9 years, she ran the rails here in Arizona with a camera hooked to her front. And she created simulators for training engineers.
Really?
Till, you know, computers came around and all that good stuff.
I mean, not only the steel, but the woodwork and the wood and everything. It's
Yes.
It'd be the heaviness.
We
like you're
tried,
saying.
we had to make, you know, changes, like this was the director's car, so this was the director's bedroom. We eliminated that to enlarge some dining. But when you have time, you can take a peek in here. We took one of the spare bedrooms and created a private dining
Little
area.
private, yeah.
We took the porter's quarters and we created a larger galley kitchen.
Okay.
So we have a very modern
So
galley
you'll
kitchen.
serve dinner? Or
We do
events?
dinners once a month.
Okay.
Right at this time. We have a nice chef. She's traveling around the world. And we just had one last weekend, was Greek. We've done Spain, France,
Wow.
Germany. I think Italy is next month, and she's just going to keep chugging around. As we do these, the guests, just like you when you're on the road, they give you lots of ideas. And we've been taking that into account too.
Well, we've actually ridden on a train that has cars like this when we're headed up to the Grand Canyon.
Right.
You know,
Yes.
not maybe exactly, but just
Old
that
train.
feeling,
Well,
the
they're
smell
working on a
and-
museum in Williams.
Yeah.
Richmond runs that. And there is a really good rail museum in Chandler.
Yeah.
We'll have to check
The
that out.
Arizona Rail
Yeah.
Museum.
Very cool.
And, as far as Kingman is concerned, it was a rail town before it was a 66 town.
Mm-hmm.
And it was actually a World War II, this area was a World War II gunnery training base. And so aviation was really big. At one point, I don't even know how many thousand B-17s, B-27s were here. But we sit on the area where the service club was, and the back was the chapel. So I always say we got you coming and going.
Well, back in the 70s, I used to come and drive myself to the Grand Canyon.
Uh-huh.
And I remember seeing miles of planes land
Yes,
out here.
absolutely, correct, yeah.
Wow.
That's why I say I know it's in the thousands,
Yeah.
I'm not up to date.
Yeah.
As far as that goes, Jim Hinckley is a wealth of information.
We'll be talking to him tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But, I mean, you're sitting on some pretty hallowed ground as well.
I believe so,
Yeah.
yeah, and we're trying to live up to that reputation.
Mm-hmm.
And, we sat at the table, my wife and I, we don't do anything normal. We decided we needed to create a full destination, so food. When that took place, we looked at planes and trains, and you can see the trains won out. That doesn't mean planes wouldn't have been cool, but we feel like Kingman really was a good big rail town, and we kind of are trying to bring that back to.
You still could get a big fuselage and put it out there and have
There
a
you
plane
go.
there.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Possibilities.
Don't
Planes,
give,
trains,
don't
and
give her any
automobiles.
ideas.
Well, I've really enjoyed this tour. I really appreciate you taking on it. I mean, what did you think?
Oh, I think it's really cool. I mean, we've been at wineries and we've seen that. We actually saw the distilling up at Spring 44 with Jeff. But this is really cool. And John, you've got a passion. You were talking about that earlier.
It is all about the passion, my friend. And if you don't have the passion, I wouldn't even touch a venture like this. And if you lose the passion, you probably should move on too. That's what, as long as Mama Bear's happy, you know that saying.
Yeah.
Right.
So as long as she's happy, we'll keep chugging.
Yeah.
And we understand that because we have the passion for the 2 lanes, so we
Exactly.
put everything into it. So you're putting everything
I
into
admire
this.
what you guys are doing just as much. And I think that's what drives America today, you know, as far as small business. If you don't have that passion, small business is a hard life.
It
Right.
very much is.
Right.
So
And you've been in small business all
pretty
your
much
life.
my whole life, yeah. It's, you know, I've been pretty successful. Well, we've been pretty successful, and we've been where beans and rice looked really good too. So
Right. Hey,
it's,
nothing wrong with
it's
that.
an interesting lifestyle.
Well, you've got a really cool setup. You got this new vibe going on with the trains and the cars and the
Yes.
dinners, and
We're like a
It's
little
gonna be
oasis
great.
in the middle of the desert.
yes, I see. I'm dancing with the mic. I'm being told by my executive producer to stop it. But we want to thank you.
Thank
We
you very
appreciate
much.
that, and thank
Guys,
Deborah as well.
appreciate
we'll go
it
see
again.
her.
Yes.
Appreciate what you're doing, and I appreciate you thinking of us. So,
Absolutely.
safe travels, and we'll meet again.
So we always end it with "see you down the road." So when we count to 3, we just do this and we say "see you down the road."
Okay.
You want to do that?
1,
Yeah.
2, 3.
3.
See you
See you
down,
down the road.
So when you're on Route 66 and you're riding around, you come to these places. We're in Kingman. We got to see a distillery, and now we're at the airport.
We sure are. And we got Doug coming over. He's the general manager. He's going to give us some history on this place right off Route 66. He also whispered in my ear, not too close, we may get to do something really incredible that most people don't get to do. So we'll see
Down the road.
I am Doug Breckenridge. I am the Airport General Manager for the Kingman Municipal Airport here located in Kingman, Arizona. We are currently inside our Pilot's Lounge, which is designed to replicate an old 1940s officer's quarter or pilot's lounge. This airport was built back in 1942 and was officially opened in 1943 as an Army Airfield Gunnery School. Here located at the airfield, pilots from all around the nation came through here to learn how to operate and use machine guns in aircraft, and their primary focus was to send them forward and to defend the B-17s while in flight. Pilots started off here using shotguns with standard clay pigeons, skeet shooting, and then from there they would slowly upgrade into practicing using 50 caliber rounds, shooting 50 calibers at moving targets just across the other side of Route 66. Also over here, they flew the smaller trainer aircraft. While in flight, they would practice shooting moving and flying targets that were being towed behind other trainer aircraft. After the war ended, this turned into an aircraft storage area. Planes from the B-17, B-24s, even the smaller aircraft from the Air Cobras were brought here, and they predict up to around 5,000 aircraft were stored here on the airfield at one time. Later on down the road, they decided to go ahead and melt down the aircraft. One company received a contract to melt down the storage aircraft, and that's 5,000 stored aircraft in about an 18-month periods. The furnaces that were melting down the aircraft were melting them down 24 hours out of the day, and that comes out to roughly around 30 to 35 aircraft a day that were smelted on this airport. Airport is still active. Very similar to the late 1940s, we do store aircraft for multiple airlines and other companies, but also it is an active operating airport for general aviation aircraft. We also do maintain some more modern day services, aircraft painting, aircraft restoration. You do have train access here. You also have Route 66, which also was very much the primary form of transportation from east to west. You do also have large open areas where you don't have to worry about stray bullets falling on houses. So this was a primary spot for training air gunnery classes here. This was also working in conjunction with other air gunnery schools located throughout Arizona and Nevada. A lot of the history behind this airport, we have one of the few remaining original World War II towers just right next to the terminal. There's not too many left inside the United States. We do have some of the original hangars located here on the airfield, and we are very much active, and it is a great airport with a great view. If you step outside the terminal, you will see the open airfield with the stored aircraft and the Wallapai Mountains in the background.
I mean, I got to tell you, fate happens with us all the time.
All the time.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, I mean, we're traveling on Route 66. We're talking to business owners. Now we're standing at the Kingman Airport. and we're going to go up this tower.
Yeah, Doug, what tower is this?
This is the original World War II tower. This was built when this turned into an, when this was created into an airport, Kingman Airport Army Airfield. The original World War II tower, there's not too many of these actually left inside the United States. The city of Kingman and the airport decided to go ahead and keep this, so it kind of turned into a local landmark. Every picture that you see that we display of the airport is this original tower with it.
So how many stairs? Do you think we can make it?
Let's run up there and see. You said watch some of the stairs.
So there's
Just skipping lake then.
Some of the stairs. Little huff and puff. How many stairs was that? I counted.
four
It's
layers?
240.
You counted?
Yeah.
There you have it.
No.
Wow.
So that's what you see from the air?
That's what you'll see from there.
Yeah.
Plus, you'll see these large triangle formats are almost like baseball diamonds, and people with shotguns will be in the middle trying to shoot clay pigeons to try to get them used to shooting moving targets.
I wouldn't want to be the guy pulling the target, trusting these guys that are rookies trying to hit.
So that tour was great, man. Didn't you love that? We got to go up in the tower. What a great deal.
A World War II tower.
Yeah.
Original.
Yeah, and he said there's not too many of those around. So we want to thank Doug, the team here. The airport cafe was great. We're gonna head into town and find a place to stay, right?
Yes. So
Are
hope
we
y'all
getting a
enjoyed
tattoo?
that. I don't know.
Oh, let's
we have
check
to
it
still
out.
check it out. But hey, see you down the road.
Where we at, boys?
Kingman, Arizona, heart of Route 66. Great day of filming, hearing some stories. Now get some grub. I got wings. I got half rack of ribs, broccoli soup, cold beverage. It's a hard thing to beat after a good day.
What'd you get, Chief?
Sausage sandwich, beans,
Yeah.
and we got those chicken wings and a cold one. Yeah.
Little pulled pork, cornbread, beans, potato salad, and a couple cold ones.